Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. I hope that you're all good. So today is Wednesday, that means I'm filming a top 5 Wednesday, and this week's theme is books that you would want to be turned into TV shows. Because the light is fading fast, I'm going to really quickly run through the top 5 books that I've chosen that I would love to be turned into TV series. So the first book that I chose for this list, I don't actually have a copy of the book with me because I read my dad's copy. I remember reading this book when I was about 15, and that book is The Wasp Factory by Ian Banks. Because it was my dad's, obviously I was desperate to read this book growing up, and I think one summer he let me borrow it and I absolutely loved it. So this is a novel about Frank, who's a very disturbed, sadistic, isolated young man living in rural Scotland with his dad. He doesn't have a birth certificate, he doesn't go to school, he doesn't have a national insurance number. Legally, he doesn't exist. So him and his dad just live on this isolated island, and then to pass the time, Frank captures and tortures and kills animals, and it's a very dark, very macabre story. And Frank is an extremely problematic character, but I remember aged 15 being shocked, horrified and absolutely devouring this book. Like it was amazing to me. In retrospect, I can draw a lot of similarities between The Wasp Factory and the Netflix series Bates Motel. I think that Frank and Norman Bates are very, very similar characters, and I think the two stories are similar in quite a few respects. And I definitely think that Ian Banks wrote in enough suspense and kind of thrill into The Wasp Factory that it would make for a really good, dark, twisted TV series. I think that The Wasp Factory on screen could definitely pack that kind of like gritty, atmospheric, dark, brooding punch that I really, really love about Bates Motel. So that is number 1 on my list. The next pick on my list is a bit of a cheat, but I've included it nonetheless, and that is A Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. Obviously these books have or are in the process of being made into a Netflix original series, which I'm impossibly excited for. These books are kind of I've got hair in my eye. You know, the books that you read when you were younger and loved just are magical even into adulthood. It's almost as though I've already seen this as a TV series or a film. The imagery is that strong in my head, but I'm so excited for the Netflix adaptation of this. I really hope that they do it justice, because I really do feel that the film version, you know, the films with Jim Carrey, I just don't think that they did the original books justice. So I really, really hope that Netflix nails this one. The next book that I've included in this list is All the Birds Singing by Evie Wilde, and probably mostly because the settings and the imagery and the descriptions in this book are so rich that I think that they translate really, really well onto screen. I think that the reverse chronology in Evie Wilde's All the Birds Singing would really, really work as a TV series, and I think the flashback element could really work, almost kind of like in Lost, although it is quite confusing in the novel itself, so I don't know how well that would translate on screen. I do think that the plot and specifically the ending would have to be ironed out a little bit to make it seem more conclusive, otherwise I think it would probably make for a disappointing TV show. I also think that it would introduce some really kind of relevant and topical discussions about kind of mental health and gender, which I think there's always a place for in modern media. So yeah, that's number 3 on my list. The next book I chose, again, I don't actually have with me, and I really don't know where this one has gone, but it's The Seamstress by Maria Duenas, and in a word, the reason that I chose this was for its rich plot. This is such a multifaceted novel. It's got so many kind of twists and turns and subplots and sub-themes and relationships, and it's just got a bit of everything. I think that it's definitely got the pace and the twists and the turns and the surprises to keep the suspense that a TV thriller needs. It's set in the 1930s, so done correctly, the costume design and the set could be a real treat. For my last pick, I'm imagining a slightly different kind of TV series. I picked Hotel K by Catherine Bernella, and the reason that I picked this is because I can imagine this as like an insider Louis Theroux gritty documentary series. This is a non-fiction which looks into the Balinese prison system. I definitely think it would lend itself well to a journalistic scoop on the Balinese prison system and its flaws. Yes, I think it could be very interesting. So that is it for my top 5 Wednesday. I really hope that you enjoyed. Please do comment down below what your top 5 books would be that you would want to be turned into a TV series. I know that I could pick so many more. It was quite a struggle to limit this down to just 5. Really hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm really glad that I managed to do it before the sun set, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!